Well, actually, I'm not trained as a musician. I started music at a late stage with electroacoustic, like electronic and computer music. And from there, I moved to visual art. So it's kind of being at the boundaries and the frontiers of these things and enjoying a lot having the worlds of sound, composition, and visual arts meet and intertwine. So on Souffle Continu, we have two instruments. On one hand, the organ within. Now, the particularity of this organ is, although it is inspired by a church organ, it comes from the research I've been doing on the project Within, which is a project on sound and deafness. And this organ is actually deaf-friendly in the sense that it can be played by people who have different hearing abilities, and in the sense where flutes that are usually cylindrical on an organ became cubical to encapsulate and entrap air pressure and thus vibrate and provide like a tactile and haptic experience for people to feel it with their fingers, with their body, and not just with their ears. And also a visual stimuli in the sense that this vibration can also be seen and observed by objects, by the surfaces of the instrument. And again, add another sense in terms of its playability. It's also a collective instrument in the way that 8 to 10 people can play it.
Okay, they should be together and then somebody breaks this kind of drone.
The other instrument, the reed box, is the small brother, but at the same time the opposite of the organ, in the sense that it is an instrument that we conceive to be light, portable, easily producible, and producible in multiples. And I would add also it is an instrument that was specially produced for the Festwochen and following this invitation. So this is the first version of it. And there was a very important contribution on behalf of Musikverein. I went there for the first time. The visit to Musikverein is actually what triggered the idea of the reed box, you know, and it's not just in terms of the objects and the things that are in-house in the collection, but it's actually the human knowledge, like the instrument maker, the people who repair instruments, who restore them, that are in the carnet d'adresse or the notebook of this collection. And we had access to expertise and to knowledge through these people that helped us a lot. So for me also a collection of that sense is not just the artifacts and the history, but also the living people who work around it and keep it alive. Well, initially these two instruments were thought for them to be playable by a big variety of people, as I was saying, from deaf to hearing, from amateur to experts. And so therefore, like, they open a very wide horizon for inviting people and musicians to it. And actually this is something I like a lot in terms of learning from others, how they would use an instrument or an idea I came up with. And the second thing is, it is for me like a necessary and vital approach of like sharing things like these with others and like exposing like contemporary music, electronic or like new music or these genres to people and places where they would not usually go. There will be 4 different concerts, and the idea of it was to kind of take 2 instruments and to have them cross the cities in different venues and locations. So from the Musikverein and the concert hall to the soccer field, passing by the techno club and a church, let's say aventure or parcours, in the sense that it's every time new musicians, it's every time a different aesthetic. The same instrument will be heard in different ways, and that's what makes it for me like super fun and nice to explore, to break the boundaries, which I believe is also like the what contemporary practices are about today or should be doing today, actually.